So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off talking about the global financial system, right? We have to talk about the global financial system. If we're going to break down Ripple and XRP, the quiet takeover of global finance, let's start here. Swift, right? So we're going to talk about the Swift banking system. I made it real simple. I go, what is the Swift banking system? Okay. And the SWIFT banking system is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, right? SWIFT, a secure global messaging network used by 11,000 financial institutions in 200 plus countries to securely transmit information and instructions for financial transactions. So anywhere you at pretty much in the world, if they have a bank, this is what they're using is the Swift system. When you send a wire, they charge you. It takes you 3 days, okay? It acts as a standardized communication system rather than a bank, allowing for reliable cross-border payments, treasury, and trade transactions. Then key aspects of the Swift include secure messaging. Swift does not hold money but sends messages to facilitate secure, accurate, and standardized transfers between banks. Global reach. It is the primary network for international wire transfers, connecting banks, corporates, and market infrastructures. And then there's efficiencies. It ensures that financial messages are sent quickly with high security on standardization, allowing for faster processing than older systems. But there is inefficiencies, and we're going to talk about those. Components. Swift is a member-owned cooperative ensuring a secure and resilient network for high value financial information. So these are the big dogs. So Ripple is like, hey, we're in position to upgrade this system. We don't need to necessarily replace it. We can add on to and upgrade. Okay. And they have the XRP token. The XRP token is the transaction fee. It is what powers the XRP ledger, the ledger system, which is a blockchain. Okay. And this ledger system is quietly taking over global finance.
So you've said before that you think there's a world where Ripple could take over Swift.
Well, I've also said I thought there was ways we could work with Swift.
Let's talk about that.
Try to catch
well, I'll start that comment just by saying, look, Swift is owned. I mean, I think Godfrey, by that, has a very challenging job. Swift is owned by the banks. It isn't a traditionally kind of construct. You have a very strong chairman, and how Citi kind of is an important stakeholder in that. But at the end of the day, Ripple is trying to help financial institutions and banks be successful in the future. How do we enable Santander to compete more effectively with PayPal, with Amazon, Facebook? And it's not going to be in settlement times measured in days. It's not going to be measured settlement costs measured in $15+. So I want to see our mission in life really has been, how do we help these financial institutions be successful? Those are the same financial institutions that own Swift. And so in many ways, we've thought, hey, we could work together. That hasn't played out. And I think increasingly, we are seeing more and more banks adopt Ripple's technology. And we're seeing that play out. But I have a ton of respect for what Swift has built, just to be clear.
He wants to work with them, right? And this is the change in the system. He can upgrade the system with a faster communication protocol, a better ledger system. And instead of sending your payment takes 5 days and you can't send anything on the weekend, on the XRP ledger and blockchain technology in general, you can send it in a few seconds. So you can send $1 billion or even $1 trillion in a few seconds. And the security is on point. It is a safe system, and it's on the blockchain. And then Ripple also put out the RLUSD, which is their stablecoin that corresponds and reacts to the Genius Act. So they have a legal dollar that is backed by US dollars and US Treasury. So they have a currency denominated. So you can actually move $1 trillion, $1 billion, $100 million, a dollar using RLUSD, send it anywhere in the world in a few seconds, and you're good to go, right? And it's backed by the dollar. So eventually the goal for these people is to have the dollar, the RLUSD, be easily spent at stores. USDC, RLUSD, potentially tethered, PayPal USD. Stablecoin purchases is the next phase where PayPal, Venmo, you go into a store, you can swipe, and then it automatically takes your USDC or your stablecoin. in a few seconds, just as fast as Visa. Okay. And that's what's important. So I found this post here that I want to talk about. And again, as y'all join the stream, say what's good. If you got any questions, please let me know. So here, this is a interesting post. So the global banking elite just secretly surrendered to crypto. BBVA is the first domino to fall. 800 billion banking giant BBVA is quietly embedding Ripple custody straight into its core banking system across all of Spain. You hear that? This is not a small pilot. This is one of Europe's largest banks hardwiring institutional crypto custody, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenized assets, all directly into the heart of their operations. Under the cover of MiCA, this is the European regulations there, they are not fighting crypto anymore. They are plugging into it. BBVA customers will soon access real digital assets from inside their trusted bank. No shady exchange required. The bridge between TradFi and the blockchain is no longer coming. It is already built from the inside. So do you understand what just happened here? And I got another one for y'all too. So this is what's interesting as well here, right? You have Ripple being integrated. This bank out in Spain, $800 billion bank, is directly allowing people to custody soon and buy crypto from the bank. Hold your dollars. You can get your Bitcoin held there. This is all being integrated. And if you go look here, I use Charles Schwab, right? This is one of the biggest financial institutions also in the world, a brokerage account, right? And they do all kind of different type of accounts. But if you look at it, Charles Schwab is launching direct spot Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in the first half of 2026 through a new product called Schwab Crypto, managed by Charles Schwab Premier Bank, another bank. The service will allow clients to buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly alongside traditional investments. And again, so does this make sense? Let me know in the chat if this makes sense. Put XRP. So you got the MiCA regulations, you got Europe's largest bank hardwiring institutional crypto custody, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenized assets directly into their harder operations. And then you have a Charles Schwab saying, hey, you guys can directly trade spot Bitcoin ETFs. You can trade crypto equities, indirect exposure to different crypto funds. They got a launch date for the second half of 2026, direct trading of Bitcoin, BTC, and Ethereum. So now instead of going directly to Coinbase or something, you could literally be at your Charles Schwab, you could be at that European bank and purchase Bitcoin. So now in your brokerage account or your bank account, you're holding Bitcoin. And Ripple is a part of this as well.
Passive income, gold in my dental. Thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.